Welcome back to the channel that usually brings you the kind of stories that make your heart race, your smile widen, and your day a little brighter. Normally, when we gather here, it is to talk about upcoming dramas, behind-the-scenes gossip, surprise romance rumors, or those moments that make fans all over the world squeal in excitement. But today, the tone is different. Today we are pausing, because this time, we are not talking about a scandal, a comeback, or a project announcement. We are talking about something that left the entire Chinese entertainment world stunned, speechless, and brokenhearted. On September 11, 2025, news spread like wildfire that actor Menglong had passed away after falling from a building in Beijing. It was the kind of headline that makes you blink twice and reread it, hoping you somehow misunderstood. But as the hours passed, what began as whispers and speculation turned into one of the most heartbreaking confirmations the industry has faced in years. One of its most gentle souls was gone. In this video, we are going to walk you through what happened on that day, how the industry reacted, and how some of the biggest names in Chinese entertainment including Yang Mi and Dilraba shared their grief. More than that, we are going to remember who Menglong truly was, beyond the bright lights, beyond the screens. Because if there is one thing everyone agreed on, it is that he was not just another actor. He was someone who made people feel safe, warm, and understood, and losing someone like that leaves a space that can never truly be filled. The day everything went still. It began as a seemingly normal day for fans and followers of Chinese entertainment. People opened their phones expecting to see cheerful updates, new drama stills, fresh interviews, maybe even a silly dance video or two. Instead, they were met with a shocking headline: actor Menglong reportedly passed away after falling from a building in Beijing. At first, many dismissed it as a hoax. After all, the internet is full of fake death rumors, and Menglong was only 37 years old. He had appeared at events not long before. He had ongoing projects in the works. Nothing about it seemed possible. Fans clung to the hope that it was simply misinformation that would be quickly debunked. But what followed was silence. Deafening silence. His studio did not release a statement. His manager did not respond to calls. His social media accounts remained untouched. That silence, instead of offering reassurance, began to fuel dread. As the hours passed, the mood shifted from denial to fear. And then, without warning, the first crack appeared in the wall of silence. Actor Gao Taiyu, a close friend of Menglong, posted a short message on social media: "Your smile will forever be etched in our memories." Those words were like a stone dropped in still water. They rippled across the internet instantly. Fans flooded the comment section, asking what he meant, asking if it was true, begging for clarification. The truth they feared began to loom larger. And then came another post, this time from actor Wen Yifan. His words were even more heartbreaking: "Good night, dearest friend. May there be no pain in heaven, only sunshine in your favorite songs. We will always remember you as the star who once lit up our world." For a brief moment, the world seemed to stop. And then, strangely, Wen Yifan deleted his post. That act only deepened the confusion. Was it a misunderstanding? Had someone jumped to conclusions? The uncertainty hung heavily over everyone. But later that evening, the storm broke. The official studio of Menglong confirmed the devastating news. He had died from a fall. The authorities had ruled out foul play. It was a tragic accident. And just like that, it was no longer a rumor. It was reality, a reality that no one was ready to face. Who he was behind the roles. Before diving into the reactions that poured in, it is worth pausing to remember who Menglong was beyond the headlines. He was not the kind of actor who dominated the industry through controversy or spectacle. He did not chase scandals or manipulate the spotlight. He built his career quietly, steadily, and with extraordinary care for his craft. Fans first came to know him through period dramas, where he often played elegant, thoughtful characters. He had a soft presence, a way of speaking that was calm but compelling. It was this quiet strength that drew people in. Many said that he had a face that looked like it belonged in another era, gentle, timeless, like someone from a painting who had stepped into the modern world. Off camera, colleagues described him as soft-spoken and patient, someone who never raised his voice, someone who listened more than he spoke. He loved music. It was not uncommon to find him strumming a guitar during breaks on set or humming quietly while waiting for his next scene. He seemed happiest in those small, quiet moments. What made him stand out was not just his talent, but his spirit. There was a warmth to him that people could feel even through a screen. He had the rare ability to make the people around him feel seen and valued. Talking to him, people said, felt like standing in the sunlight after a long winter. That was who he was. And that is part of why his passing cuts so deeply. The world feels colder without him. The grief that swept the industry. The official confirmation of his death opened the floodgates of grief. Within minutes, his name was trending on Weibo, not because of a drama premiere or a viral moment, but because of loss. Fans began posting tributes, old photos, and memories. Entire timelines became memorials. Among the voices that spoke out, the most heartbreaking were from those who knew him personally. Actress Yang Mi, one of the biggest stars in China, posted a brief but emotional message. "Fourth brother, may you be at peace in another world." Those words were instantly recognized by fans of the drama Eternal Love, where she and Menglong had once worked together. Referring to him as fourth brother was more than nostalgia. It was intimate. It was her way of acknowledging that their on-screen bond had translated into something real off-screen, something that lasted far beyond the end of filming. Soon after, actress Dilraba also shared her grief. Her message was longer, and if possible, even more tender. "In my memory, you were always gentle and sincere as Bai Jen. When we met again on a variety show, you were still the same kind-hearted person. Farewell, we will always miss you." Her words struck deeply because they referenced one of his most beloved roles, Bai Jen, a character that embodied wisdom, loyalty, and quiet strength. Fans wept reading her tribute. It felt as though she was speaking both to the character and to the man who had brought him to life. These tributes made something clear. To those who worked with him, Menglong was not just another colleague. He was family. Losing him was not simply losing a fellow actor. It was losing someone who had touched their lives in ways only they could truly understand. The fans who would not let go. It was not only the stars who mourned. Fans from across China and beyond turned social media into a massive, living memorial. They shared clips of his most memorable scenes. They replayed interviews where he spoke about his craft, his love for storytelling, his belief in kindness. They even shared candid behind-the-scenes footage where he could be seen laughing softly, trying to hide his smile behind his hands. The comments on these posts were raw and unfiltered. "Thank you for lighting up our screens. You deserved more time. We were not ready to say goodbye. I hope you are somewhere warm, somewhere safe, somewhere full of music." People left digital white flowers on his last post. That post, which had once been a cheerful update about upcoming projects, was now a sea of sorrow and gratitude. Some fans organized online vigils. Others created tribute art. Many simply stayed awake late into the night, scrolling through memories of him, unable to believe he was truly gone. They had never met him, yet their grief was real. And maybe that is the truest measure of his impact, that he made strangers care deeply about him, simply by being himself. The silence behind the smiles. Although the official report stated that his death was an accident and there was no criminal element involved, the tragedy sparked painful conversations online about the hidden struggles people might be carrying. Many began reflecting on how celebrities are expected to always appear perfect, smiling, shining, flawless, while privately they might be battling invisible storms. Some of his colleagues gently hinted that Menglong was often more focused on others than on himself. He would cheer up those who were struggling, encourage newcomers on set, and brush off compliments about his own work. There were whispers that maybe he carried burdens he never spoke of, emotional weights he kept hidden behind his soft smile. We may never know the full story of what he was going through. But what became clear is that kindness can sometimes hide pain. That is why so many voices on social media began urging people to be gentler with one another, to check in on friends, to remember that even the brightest smiles can belong to someone quietly hurting inside. A legacy that will keep shining. Even though his life was cut short, what Menglong left behind is enduring. His portrayal of Bai Jen will continue to inspire new fans for years. His interviews will keep reminding people to lead with compassion. His gentle laugh, his careful way of speaking, his soulful gaze, all of it is preserved now in the memories of those who loved him. Directors and fellow actors have spoken about how dedicated he was to his craft, how he would spend extra hours rehearsing lines not for himself, but to help others on set feel more comfortable. He treated everyone equally, from leading stars to background crew. He knew everyone's names. He thanked everyone, every time. That is not something you can teach. That is simply who he was. And that might be his greatest legacy. Not just the roles he played, but the way he made people feel. Because when people look back on him, they do not only talk about his talent. They talk about his kindness. That, more than anything, is what will keep him alive in people's hearts. The industry says goodbye. In the days following the announcement, tributes continued to pour in. Directors, producers, scriptwriters, makeup artists, and fellow actors all shared their memories. Some remembered how he would quietly stay behind after filming to help younger actors rehearse. Others remembered how he always brought snacks for the crew, or how he made a point to thank the lighting team and camera operators personally. A farewell that is not really goodbye. And so here we are, trying to say goodbye. But maybe this is not goodbye at all. Because how can you say goodbye to someone who touched so many lives? Someone whose work will continue to live on screens, whose smile will appear unexpectedly in people's memories for years to come. Perhaps the truth is that we do not say goodbye. We simply say, thank you. Thank you, Yu Menglong, for your gentleness, for your artistry, for showing that you do not need to be loud to shine. And that kindness is a form of strength. You may have left this world, but you will always be part of its light. That is the story we wanted to share today. It is not easy to talk about loss, especially when it is someone who gave so much beauty to the world. But sometimes, the most important stories are the ones that break our hearts, because they remind us how much someone mattered. If you knew Yu Menglong, or even if you are only discovering him now, we invite you to share your own thoughts and memories in the comments. Let this be a place where we celebrate his life, where we keep his light burning. Because if grief is love that has nowhere to go, then let's give it somewhere to go right here. Hold your friends a little closer today. Smile a little more gently at strangers. And never forget to check in on the people you love. Because sometimes the people who seem the happiest are the ones who need a kind word the most. We will return soon with brighter stories, but for now, let us sit in this moment. Let us honor the quiet star who once lit up our screens, and whose light will never truly fade. Rest well, Yu Menglong.